I want to salute you, homie, for building your own thing and doing your own thing, creating your own platform, your own website.
With my boy Alfred on mr.taliaferro.com.
mr.taliaferro.com.
Right now, I'm about to go to Walmart.
Just to see you with your logo on your mics.
You're rocking with mr.taliaferro.com.
Y'all go to mr.taliaferro.com. It's going down.
My biggest gift is my voice. It allows me to speak to the culture.
Right now you're turning up on mr.taliaferro.com, shawty.
How's everybody doing today? Happy 4th of July to you, by the way. I guess I'm here to talk about something that, big that happened in NBA free agency. Have y'all heard about anything that's happened over the last 12 to 14 hours that's been big in NBA free? Oh yeah, a guy named Kevin Durant decided to take his talents to the Golden State Warriors, and I mean, social media is in a frenzy, and I'm gonna break this down to you. And towards the end of this blog, you're gonna see a lot of emotion from me. Kevin Durant, right, decides to sign with the Golden State Warriors, leaves OKC, 10 years in OKC, hadn't brought a ring. You 48 minutes away, you're up 3-1 against that same Golden State Warriors team less than a month and a half ago. You had that opportunity to beat the team, to get rid of this dynasty talk with the Golden State Warriors. You don't make it happen. You lose. You look up. You in Golden State after Game 7. You like, damn, I just gave it all I had. And if that wasn't enough to beat this team, how could I ever beat them? If that wasn't the year, if that wasn't my opportunity over the last 5-6 years, we have been saying, ever since they left the finals, after 2012, when the OKC Thunder got to the finals and they lost with James Harden, the next summer you trade James Harden, and after that every year from 2013, 14, 15, you had an injury. Keep in mind, 1 year, Ibaka went down, he was like 50, 60% against the Spurs and they lost. The next year, Westbrook's out, torn ACL because of the Patrick Beverley, the freak injury, something like that. And then in 2015, you had Kevin Durant, Achilles injury, foot injury, had to shut it down for the year. You look up, you next to Russell Westbrook, right? You look at the team. You look at the Deion Waiters of the world, the Robersons of the world, the Steven Adams who plays his butt off, who fights. You look at the Cameron Paynes of the world, a dancing buddy. You look at that team and you say, okay, we gave it all we got. We came short. What's going to be different in the future? Maybe we go out and get a guard, to be named later. That would be Victor Oladipo. Maybe we go out, trade Ibaka, find a 4. Well, Ibaka is traded and you don't have a 4 left on the market. You look up. Now you see this team that just beat you in the Bay Area offer you max money. We tell you straight up, we can get rid of Harrison Barnes. You have the people who defeated you, your competitors, your rivals in the NBA right now, the Golden State Warriors. Their 3 best players, and Iguodala, if he's one of the 4 or the 5 best players, you have 4 of their top players come to a meeting with their coach and tell you, look, regardless if we beat you, you come with us, you win multiple titles. This is what the reality is. You stay with yourself, you stay with Westbrook, maybe y'all beat us once out of the next 5 years and get to the finals and probably lose in the finals to LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, and the Cleveland Cavaliers. The reality of the situation that nobody wants to talk about. You look up, okay? You get through all that. You get through the meetings. You go hear other meetings from other teams. Probably wasn't San Antonio's probably too boring for you. Even though they have a great team, great organization, doesn't seem like Durant really considered them. Miami. Too much uncertainty about can you sign Durant and D-Wade. You look up. You have the Clippers. You have the Boston Celtics. And you have the Golden State Warriors. Let's go through the Clippers first. Let's look at the teams in comparison to the Thunder, right? Too many people argue, so many people. I tweeted out yesterday, I'm talking about Durant right now. If I'm Durant, if I'm a free agent, what am I doing? So many people looked at me and tweeted at me and told me, look, go back to OKC, that's the best chance to win. And I'm like, what the hell? How? Take Durant off the team. You cannot consider Durant a part of the OKC Thunder because he's a free agent. Technically, he does not play for them. Let's look at a couple of these teams, big 2s and big 3s. OKC Thunder without Durant. Their big two, Russell Westbrook, Steven Adams. Maybe Victor Oladipo, if you really want to stretch and call it a big three. Let's go around to some of the teams that were considering, that were in the running to get Kevin Durant. The Los Angeles Clippers, the team that I'm going to tack on first. Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan. Boston Celtics, they only have a big two as well. But it's Isaiah Thomas, Al Horford, and you own so many of the Brooklyn Nets picks in the future, it seems as if though they're a team that's going to be on the up and ups. Keep in mind, they own a top 3 protected pick from Brooklyn in the future. So at some point, you're going to get another nice piece. Boston, a lot of history behind it. I'm just going to talk about the players right now. You look at it. Don't even get me started with the Golden State Warriors. Curry, Thompson, Green. We even get on down to the bench. Iguodala, Livingston, Barbosa, weapon after weapon, and you're telling me I can keep all these pieces, have a big three, a real big three, a 73-9 team, and you're telling me all I can do is just walk to this team, make my life better. All right, now I'm going to break down team by team. Look at the loss. I'm going to tell you why every situation was better than going back to OKC. The Clippers, a team that ended up signing Jamal Crawford, Wesley Johnson, took themselves out of the running for Kevin Durant about a day ago. We're being told that they were told that they weren't going to sign Kevin Durant. Look at the Clippers. Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook. I'll let you win that argument that right now Russell Westbrook's a better player than Chris Paul. I'll let you have that. But with that being said, Russell Westbrook's looking to get his shot. Chris Paul is still a better point guard than Russell Westbrook. All right, let's keep it moving. Steven Adams for OKC. Blake Griffin for the Los Angeles Clippers. Blake Griffin. He's better than Steven Adams. All right, now you don't have a valuable third option. You'll go Victor Oladipo maybe. You don't have that third option for the Thunder. You still got DeAndre Jordan on this side. Paul Pierce may be returning. A guy that you can bring in late game situations if needed. Probably wouldn't need him. At that point, you can go maybe CP3, Pierce, Durant. Just saying. Or leave out Pierce out of the situation. CP3, Crawford, Durant, Blake, DeAndre. That's a pretty damn enticing lineup. I'm just being honest about it. All right. The Clippers don't get Durant. All right. He don't consider that. Even though I think that would have been a great move. Chris Paul would have really, got the ball to him. Chris Paul could have took a lot of weight off his shoulders. Could have missed a couple games more. Rest his body. Blake, DeAndre, two guys that want to light up the regular season with stats. Durant can still average his 30, 35 points per game because, Chris Paul, he'll beat a D-Wade to LeBron James. He'll let KD have that to get more assists. What Chris Paul do. One of the most unselfish players in NBA history. Keep that in mind. Let's leave him alone. Let's leave the Clippers alone. Let's go to the Boston Celtics, right? Like I mentioned there, Isaiah Thomas. Really good season. I'll let you say he's better. Of course, I'll say Westbrook's better than Isaiah Thomas. Of course. No questions there. Westbrook's better. A top 5 talent in the league. Better than Isaiah Thomas. No one arguing that. But Steven Adams, Al Horford, and I love what Steven Adams does for the game. Hard worker. Worked his way up, right? He's still not better than Al Horford. I'm sorry. 15 and 8 a game. I'm sorry. Al Horford, in a situation where he had a lot of pieces in Atlanta, which limited his production on the offensive end because he had so many weapons in Atlanta that couldn't get it together. I'm sorry. Al Horford's a better player than Steven Adams. You got all these role players, which makes a good team in Boston. All these great talents. You go in the draft, you get the kid from California. You get the Jalen kid from California. Should be a good defender, 6'5", 6'6". Should be able to get together at some point in the league. All these pieces. You look, Kevin Durant, if I'm straight up and down, I'd rather play for Boston. The pride, the history, and everything there. I'd rather Brad Stevens, a great young coach. Billy Donovan still got questions, even though I like Billy Donovan as a coach. I'm picking Boston over the Thunder right now, period. The only thing that's there is loyalty. The only thing that's there is loyalty. This is what people argue. I'm picking Boston straight up. All right, but he doesn't pick Boston. All right, that's cool. He doesn't pick Boston. Let's get to the Golden State Warriors. Look at this team, 73-9. What, 4 points away from making the NBA Finals Game 7 in overtime and possibly winning their second straight championship. But they didn't, and I think this is what people are missing. When the Golden State Warriors lost in the NBA Finals, they didn't get their second championship, but what they did was crack the door, crack the window a single bit, just a little bit, open for Kevin Durant to sign with that team. That's what they did. That's exactly what they did. That little crack in the window, because Kevin Durant now can look at that team and say, hey, they didn't get it done. I can join y'all. We're head and shoulders better than anybody in the league, even LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. All right. Russell Westbrook, Steph Curry. Steph Curry's the MVP. The last 3 games of that series against the Oklahoma City Thunder, Steph Curry showed Russell Westbrook that he was okay on defense, held his own on defense, and he got his team into the NBA Finals. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. Steph Curry, even though Russell Westbrook, we like him as an individual talent, has shown us he's a better shooter, playmaker, from a team standpoint, than Russell Westbrook. Klay Thompson is better than Steven Adams. Steven Adams is your number 2 guy in OKC right now. Klay Thompson is a flat-foot better ball player than him. Draymond Green, flat-foot better ball player than anybody you want to name. Victor Oladipo. Draymond Green was number 5 in the MVP race this year. A top 15 player. Klay Thompson, a top 15 player. You can argue top 10. All right? Let's take this even deeper. Andre Iguodala. A better player than Victor Oladipo still, I'm sorry. Sean Livingston. You can have a debate if he's a close to decent player if you had to replace a Victor Oladipo. Leandro Barbosa, still a high energy guy. I wouldn't say he's better than Victor Oladipo. But he's high on energy, plays hard. Look up and down that roster, and this decision was easy. The only thing is about the backlash you'll get from the media and the fans. And once you can get over that, go for what makes you happy, Kevin Durant. And when Kevin Durant woke up, when he looked up the landscape of the NBA, it just didn't make sense to stay in OKC. Now, if you want to argue me that maybe he should have went to Boston, been his own legacy, I'll let you have that. I will let you have that argument. Maybe he should have went somewhere else, the Knicks, to be his own player. You know, I'll let you have that. But if y'all want to talk about the best basketball decision, which nobody wants to talk about, head and shoulders, the best move for Kevin Durant was to join the Golden State Warriors team. You now have a dynasty on paper. And the last thing for me was when Steph, Klay, Draymond, and Andre Iguodala were all present at the meeting. I'm like, well, damn, this has to happen now. Even the Golden State Warriors are ready to put their rivalry and stuff aside to say, man, look, you go do this by yourself in Westbrook. Y'all maybe beat us one time. With us, you talking 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember when LeBron was like, not 5, not 6, not 7. This is serious business with this Golden State Warriors team. They went 73-9 last year. On paper, they should be favored to win 79 games next year. If I'm a San Antonio Spurs team, how do I even, if I'm Tim Duncan, how do I come back for this? I'm making $5, $6 million a year. Why do I come back for this? We're not beating that team in a series. We're not even good enough to win 2 games. You know, just being honest about it. For me personally, this decision wasn't hard. And let me bring up another point before I let this blog go. All right, you work. I made this point up with my girlfriend. All right, you're a worker, right? We talk about doctors. She wants to be a doctor. She makes $130,000 a year as a doctor. All right. You get a better opportunity. You get a better opportunity where at this point you make a lot of money doing other things. You know, you make a lot of money on the side even though you're a doctor. The money's not the issue. You have an opportunity to make about the same money per year. You lose that 5th year, that extra 30, 40 million. In her case, I said that extra 30, 40,000. You lose that opportunity. You go, you have another job that wants you. Bigger market, more opportunities, makes you, and instead of saying Durant, his life as a basketball player is easier, I said you're able to see your kids more, which makes your life easier, right? You mean to tell me you wouldn't do that? You mean to tell me who would stay for the Warriors? I mean, who would stay with the Thunder? Who would do that? Why do we frown upon players making their lives better? This when it comes to athletes, it's specifically the NBA. Why do we frown upon them making their lives easier? Isn't that the goal? If you had a job, nobody would frown upon you for going and taking a better opportunity. Just because we think we're so connected to these players. The NBA, we think we know them. We think we're so connected. We think their decisions are contingent on what we want. But just because we're loyal to teams, that doesn't mean that we're loyal to players, or that doesn't mean that players should be loyal to teams. Because I guarantee, when Kevin Durant's washed up, that owner in OKC, he'll trade him. He'll let him go, you know, when he's not the same player. Kevin Durant had to make the best decision for him, his family, and his body. You know, he had foot problems about a year and a half ago. You know, the best decision for Kevin Durant from a basketball standpoint, you can argue other factors all day with me, that it was a coward move, and I can get to that about him going to the team he was 3-1 up. That's the only thing I'm arguing. That'll be the only thing I say about this. You went to a team that you were 3-1 up on, 48 minutes away from beating. Essentially, you can say you had that team beat. You went and joined them. But if we talking basketball, you go to you leave Westbrook, maybe one of the most selfish guys in the NBA, but he has a heart to win, I'll give him that. And you go to a team that has made a situation for passing the basketball seem fluid, seem fun, and seem historic. For me personally, the decision for Kevin Durant to leave the OKC Thunder and go to the Golden State Warriors was just not that hard. And this is blog 3 for me, Taliaferro's blogs. What do you think about the decision for Kevin Durant to leave the Oklahoma City Thunder, join the Golden State Warriors? I'm pretty sure this is going to blow up. Talk to me in my comment box. Like, dislike, subscribe to my channel while you're here. A huge move, the move of the offseason by far. The Golden State Warriors, who were 4 points away, who were this close from being NBA champions for a second straight year, now bring a piece to the puzzle which makes them a dynasty and possibly the favorites for 10 straight years. I go by the name of Mr. Taliaferro. You're currently tuning in to Mr. Taliaferro TV. Thank you for your time. Salute. I'm out. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to watch my interview, my performance, or maybe it was a feature story. Now, right now, you can either subscribe to my channel or you can watch other performances. Thank you for taking the time out. It's mr.taliaferro.com. After seeing Drake